Welcome back to the Junk Room, everybody. It's noontime. It's time for a Junkman nooner. Hopefully you're ready to go see the new Spider-Man opening up this weekend. In fact, I think it's opening across the U.S. today, Thursday. What was it, December 16th? I got tickets to go see it tonight at 7 o'clock, so I'm going to head out and see it a little later. And I'm really excited to see Spider-Man. And like most of you, we've been knowing about Spider-Man since we were a little kid. Spider-Man ain't nothing new. I mean, we grew up in the 70s on Spider-Man. We have two live-action Spider-Mans in the 70s. My first really adventure into Spider-Man was thanks to Spider-Man on the Electric Company. You remember this? He didn't ever talk, and it was about 5-6 minutes long, if that long. And it would be Spider-Man giving a lesson to the kid while he solved some kind of problem in town. And then in the 70s, we had the live-action Spider-Man television show. I was really excited when that came out. I can remember one of the early commercials for it. Spider-Man's hurt or something, and the guy starts to lift up his mask. And I was like, I can't wait to see this. They're going to find out who Spider-Man is. But I never got the real thrill. I don't know why that would excite me, because they open up like, oh, I don't know this guy. Who is this guy? Or they might, oh, that's Peter Parker. Who cares? But the Spider-Man television show was a great thing. And it didn't last long, but it still was a lot of fun to watch. And then you had a lot of merchandise in the 70s and the 80s and into the 90s. So today we're going to look at mostly 70s merchandise, just kind of random, not just action figures. We're just going to pull up a lot of 70s merchandise and take a look at it, and thought it'd be a lot of fun. So let's do that now. First up, the Action Box Spider-Man. Check this out. I remember these as a kid. You usually find them at a gas station or something. Spin the wheel and watch Spider-Man go into action. You would just spin a little wheel in the back and his arms and legs would spin around. It was entertaining for people who didn't have smartphones, the internet and everything back then. What about a Spider-Man puppet? Here you go, Spider-Man the puppet. These were big in the 70s, where it would be like a vinyl hand puppet with a plastic head on top of it. I remember having one from Burger King. I don't know who the logo from Pizza Hut. I don't remember who the mascot was, but I remember one that came from Pizza Hut. And I had a Mickey Mouse one. I never had the Spider-Man one, but I tell you what, I really do wish I did. And probably one of the most popular toys, Spider-Man related in the 70s, has to be the Mego Spider-Man, the Amazing Spider-Man with spider web. Look at this. It's got some kind of spider web net that comes with him. And is a nice looking Spider-Man, if I do say so myself. What about a Spider-Man motorcycle? Now, I'll be honest with you, Spider-Man looks like he's taking a nap on this motorcycle. It doesn't look like a good way to ride a motorcycle. It looks really dangerous. Not sure if that's the best way to ride it. What about making your own Spider-Man webs? Look at this, Spider-Man Web Maker. You can make your own spiderweb web. I'm not sure what this stuff is made out of. Empire State Place City on back of the box, so that sounds pretty cool. This would be kind of cool and neat to open up and see exactly what this is inside. Another of the rack toys of Spider-Man from Flintwood was the Spider-Man Aerobic. Remember this thing? They always made lots of these in the 70s, all kinds of characters on it. You push the two buttons on the side and you can make them spin around this bar. It was awesome. This was just one of these toys you would buy at a gas station and play with in a car. Another one you bought at a gas station, couldn't play with in the car, was the Spider-Man Hang Glider. You take it out in the backyard, put it on, have a lot of fun with it for a few hours. If you are lucky, it's one of those things, as soon as you hit a tree, you hit a break, or maybe you'll get it stuck in a tree, you won't be able to get it down. But it was cheap and a lot of fun. And one of the Spider-Mans I loved as a kid was the electronic Spider-Man right here. You could hook him up and make him climb up the wall. It had a little motor in him so you could pull him up by the string. It was very awesome. They also made a Green Goblin, which I never had the Green Goblin. I never even seen the Green Goblin until I got into toy collecting in the 90s. Spider-Man even versus Darth Vader. Yeah, Spider-Man has the Force. The Force is now with Spider-Man, this comic. And look at Spider-Man up there in the corner in the black outfit. What about Spider-Man in a car? That's right, Spider-Man could ride a car. Here he is in a jalopy. How 70s is that? And he's waving at us saying, hey, come on guys, jump in. We're going to see the new Spider-Man movie at the Bijou. We also have the Amazing Spider-Man Web Shooter. Now, I'm not really sure what this is, because I don't see anything in the package that looks like a web shooter. I see something that looks like I don't know. It looks like a balloon and I don't see anything that looks like a net, so I don't really know how this one works. But it says you can zap yourself with a string of fun and amaze your Spider-Man friends. And here's another Spider-Man car right here. This is Spider-Man in the Jeep. That's a nice looking Jeep right there. Spider-Man can't always swing building to building. I mean, that only works in the city, so sometimes he needs a Spider Jeep. And here we go, a talking, soft Spider-Man. This is kind of like a doll. You've been caught in my web, he would say when you pull the string. Pull the string dolls were really popular back in the 70s. I had a J.G. Evans pull the string doll, and I'm pretty sure it said dynamite when you pulled it. But here it is, the talking, soft Spider-Man. And how about this Spider-Man here? Gumball machine for your own room. If you were a Spider-Man fan, you wanted to have this in your room to have some Spider-Man bubble gum. That's right, came with bubble gum inside, made by Hasbro. Now, we looked at all the toys, but there was one other cool thing we could do in the 70s. That's hang out with Spider-Man ourselves. Look at these two young chaps with their Mickey Mouse shirt hanging out with Spider-Man. That's right, Spider-Man's hanging out with them, or they're hanging out with Spider-Man. I'm not really sure. But here's another kid sitting on a lap of Spider-Man, and Spider-Man's waving at us, or he's saying, oh, I'm gonna get you, little, I don't know, that a girl or a boy. It's the 70s, so it's really hard to tell. But that's a look at some 70s Spider-Man toys as we're gearing up for the release of the new Spider-Man film. It's not going to be good as the 70s television show, but hey, maybe it can get darn close. I don't know if you can beat that 70s TV show. It's going to be hard. And through the 80s, of course, we had a lot of Spider-Man cartoons, and in the 90s, we had Spider-Man cartoons, and in the 2000s, the live-action Marvel movies started up. The Sam Raimi ones is still one of the best comic book movies made out there. It really holds up today. Well, I think that's it. I'm going to go get ready to go see Spider-Man tonight. I'm getting excited to see it. So let me know. You plan to see this new Spider-Man movie? What do you think about these Tell me about the earliest Spider-Man toys you had in the comments below. Or some Spider-Man toy that you as a kid wanted and never did get. Those toys, those stick with us. The toys we never did get. Sometimes we remember them more than the toys that we that we wanted and got, we forgot about, but the toys we wanted never got, we still remember those. Oh, I never got that. So let me know in the comments some early Spider-Man toys you got or didn't get. Well, that's it. Thumb up so you like my content, subscribe to the channel, and we'll talk again soon.
Hey, Junkman channel popping though.
Thank you, sir, for that unsolicited testimony.